Greetings everyone and welcome. Kindle Stokes coming to you for another video for the Spin Doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different, something I don't do a lot of. I am going to follow a vinyl thread video that Mr. Propfe, who is musically obsessed. If you don't know Chris, check out his channel. Well, I guess it was a little over a week ago, did this video about, showing singer-songwriters. And at first I was like, oh, you know what? Do I really have singer-songwriters? But then that got me to thinking, well, what is a singer-songwriter? And, typically we think of, a guy or a girl with their acoustic guitar sitting down and just strumming and picking, singing a song. But I think there's so much more in depth on what a singer-songwriter really is. So, people will show and have shown records like this, Don McLean's American Pie, great singer-songwriter. American Pie, great track. Vincent, another great track, and that's definitely singer-songwriter, I think you got to think about Paul Simon of Simon and Garfunkel, great songwriter. Art Garfunkel really had probably the better voice of the two, although I really think Paul Simon had an amazing voice too. But Paul Simon, did most of the songwriting. Great duo, great singer-songwriter, some amazing songs. This one was their first release in the UK, actually. Has Sound of Silence, probably my second favorite song by them. Beautiful song, the poetry in it, just, beautiful lyrically, melody, everything about that song just phenomenal. Same thing with Bridge Over Troubled Water, just amazing. And that's what a singer-songwriter does, is that, they take lyrics and music and put it together so beautifully. Another one, one of my mom's favorites was Cat Stevens, just another great lyricist. Great stuff, and these are just your typical singer-songwriters. Another one we lost last year, Mr. Gordon Lightfoot. Everyone thinks of the wreck of the Edmonds Fitzgerald, but to me, Sundown by far is his best because of the way you can picture, the imagery of that song. I think is just so good, and that's what I love about great singer-songwriters is their lyrics you can picture. Another one of my mom's favorites was John Denver. This is by far my favorite. I think it was probably hers too, because a lot of her favorites were on this one. Matthew, Annie's song, and of course Sweet Surrender, I think was her actual favorite song. Just beautiful words, beautiful guitar playing. John Denver was a great guitar player and a great singer. Carly Simon, female, great female lyricist, singer. This is her best of, great songs on here. But I think the one that we always think of is You're So Vain, song about Mr. Warren Beatty. And you think of a great song there, just a song about how somebody, a man especially, is just so into his looks and himself. And, songs, that have meaning. And, that's songs that you can listen to and have meaning, that have a deeper meaning than just the words that you hear, but you can either relate to or understand, there's more of a deeper understanding of what the singer's going through. You can't talk about a singer-songwriter without, Carole King and Tapestry, one of the best albums to, show that every single song on here is a hit, whether it was a hit for her or a hit for somebody else. That's another thing about singer-songwriters, is maybe the songs that they wrote weren't exactly hits for them, but they were hits for somebody else. Although, you could say that these were hits for her, but they were definitely hits for other people as well. And, you know, these were songs that people could definitely relate to. And they were simplistic. You know, so many times we think that songs need to be deep and have deeper meaning, but sometimes they just need to be simple. And a lot of her songs I think were very simple, and that was another thing that I think was great. Sometimes, you know, you don't have to have that deeper understanding, that deeper meaning behind something. Make it simple. You know, people like simple. They don't have to think too much into it. And sometimes just tell a great story. Harry Chapin, I think, was a great storyteller. I love Harry Chapin. You know, there's so many great songs on this. This was his live album. Cats in the Cradle, obviously, is a very sad song when you listen to it, but, you know, tells a great story. To me, you can't go wrong with 30,000 Pounds of Bananas, but you also can't go wrong with Taxi and Sequel, because it's an ongoing story about a man and a woman and their love, or lack thereof, maybe. And then, of course, A Better Place to Be. That's a great, great story. And so just, you know, telling a good story. You know, what I love about Harry Chapin, other than really Cats in the Cradle, he doesn't really have songs that flow with a simple verse, chorus. It's mainly just an underlying, you know, melody, but, you know, just a great story. Just follow that line of the story. Another great storyteller, and then another one that was gone way too soon. Of course, you gotta talk about Jim Croce. Great hooks, great songs, and just great storytelling. Bad Leroy Brown says enough, but there was so much more. I Got a Name. You Don't Mess Around with Jim. Rapid Roy, That Stock Car Boy. I love that one too. Time in a Bottle. Beautiful song. Operator. So many great songs. And then, you know, don't forget about these three gentlemen here. You know, all three of these guys came from different bands, came together, and, you know, wrote separately, but then wrote together. Beautiful songs, forever. Can't go wrong with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Young. And then, of course, you can't, you know, talk about great singer-songwriters without talking about Miss Joni Mitchell as well. You know, she's probably the blueprint that most people try to follow. You know, when it comes to that, this is considered one of the best singer-songwriter albums of all time. So I'm not even going to go into detail about that. One that I don't think people think about, but I think Billy Joel, you know, maybe because he sits down at the piano instead of holding a guitar, but definitely a singer-songwriter. I mean, you know, 99% of the songs that he sang or sings are all songs that he wrote. Definitely singer-songwriter. You know, and the fact that he's been going for, 50 years strong, you know, with just amazing songs, and still performs today. And, you know, all kinds of songs, love songs, you know, upbeat songs, just all sorts of songs. And they tell stories, they, you know, just amazing stuff. This was, of course, his first album that didn't really get much recognition. It wasn't until after he released Piano Man that they went back and re-released this, and, you know, but, you know, just another great one. So, I mean, and to me, that breaks the mold of like, okay, it doesn't just have to be sitting down with your guitar. You can sit down at your piano, which Carole King did that too, but, you know. And then, you know, we think of country artists too. You know, what about Miss Dolly Parton? Great singer-songwriter, still going strong today. Oh my gosh. She just released that rock album, you know, with a few originals, but mainly covers. But, you know, oh my gosh. I Will Always Love You was a #1 hit in, I think, 4 different decades. Not just for her, but for Whitney Houston and for some other artists as well. But amazing singer-songwriter. And, you know, a great singer-songwriter writes songs about their own life. And Dolly Parton wrote songs about her own life. Just great stuff. You know, going along that country line, I always love Roger Miller. Incorporating comedy into his songwriting. Songs like Dang Me and Do I Could Do and Chug-a-Lug, to go along with a song like King of the Road. You know, just a great songwriter. Really, really just phenomenal. And also a great guitar player too, actually. I don't think he gets enough credit for that. Another one that was gone way too soon. But, you know, and that still goes on today with the country artists that we have today. I mean, you know, Johnny Cash was a great singer-songwriter, I think, that maybe doesn't get a lot of talk. But guys like Chris Stapleton, great singer-songwriter. This album right here, phenomenal, but all of his albums have been phenomenal. And a great guitar player, great singer, and just a great singer-songwriter. Sturgill Simpson, great singer-songwriter. This right here, his last album, that was going brain dead, but this, you know, this whole album just tells one story about the dude and Juanita. Love this album. Great album. But again, just telling that ongoing story. One that I didn't mention, and I should have, but Marty Robbins. I love Marty Robbins. Like, you know, all of his cowboy songs, you know, telling amazing stories. And, you know, then that takes me into newer artists. You know, Brandi Carlile. I think she is absolutely phenomenal. You know, her inspiration comes from people like Joni Mitchell, Carole King, Dolly Parton, Paul Simon, you know, I mean, all these people that I just showed. She, you know, she can sing country, she can sing pop, she can sing rock, she can sing it all, but all the songs that she sings, basically she writes herself, and she plays the piano, she plays the guitar. She's just absolutely phenomenal. And this one right here, I love this one because this is her latest release. And, you know, she released an album before this, and then she re-released it on this. She did an acoustic stripped down version of it, and then with, you know, so it's just so good. And again, just being able to tell the stories, you know, make you feel what the artist is feeling. Just a beautiful songwriter, beautiful singer. You can just feel her emotions when she sings. Love it. But like I said, I started thinking about it. Oh wait, sorry, I got a couple more I want to show real quick. Jack Johnson. Love Jack Johnson. I think he's a great singer-songwriter from Hawaii. Very mellow, just laid back, sit on the beach with his acoustic guitar. His first 3 albums, this is his 3rd album, I think this is his best, but his first 3 albums, amazing. Just laid back, you know, saying, hey, let's just have some fun and hang out. And then John Mayer, actually. You know, John Mayer, this is his more stripped down, laid back acoustic album, Born and Raised. So when I think of singer-songwriter, this album is the one that comes to my mind the most. But his entire catalog is really singer-songwriter, I think. But this one especially. He was listening to, I think, a lot of Neil Young and Jerry Garcia and the Grateful Dead whenever he did this album. But I started thinking about it, you know, there's so much more genres that you could go to, you know, there's, you know, because automatically we start thinking of just the whole folk, pop, country genre, but, you know, there's blues, there's rock, there's soul, there's punk. I think, you know, there can be punk elements to it. And that got me to thinking about, you know, and grunge. Oh my gosh, grunge, you know, grunge was basically singer-songwriter. And that got me thinking about guys like Chris Cornell. What a great singer-songwriter. You know, the stuff that he did for Soundgarden, the stuff that he did for Audioslave, and then of course the stuff he did for Temple the Dog and his solo stuff. Just all phenomenal stuff, and so much emotion in his singing, the way he sang. Just, you know, oh my gosh, what a voice. Miss him so much. Love Chris Cornell. And this is a great compilation, if you don't have it, of all of his stuff, his solo stuff, his stuff with Soundgarden, Temple the Dog, and of course, Audioslave. And then I started thinking about Dashboard Confessional too. You know, a little bit of punk, pop, emo. You know, Chris Carrabba really is technically is Dashboard Confessional. You know, he sat down with his acoustic guitar really and played these songs. But you know, just songs about lost in love and not sure what to do with his life type stuff. But very much singer songwriter. But you know, like a punk element. But I mean, all those punk bands were just singing about, you know, the authority and, you know, not sure what to do with their lives and all that kind of stuff. And the last album that I want to show, and guys, I could have kept going, and I know this video has gone kind of long, but is this one here. And I know I've shown this album a million times, but Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters, this album here, but here we are, my album of the year last year. This song right here, or this album right here, that Dave pretty much, I know he wrote the majority of the songs, if not all of them really himself, like the lyrics. You know, so much heart and soul went into this album, and that's what a singer-songwriter does, is they put their heart and soul into their songs, and that's what this was for Dave. And so Dave Grohl is a singer-songwriter for the Foo Fighters, and that's what you do as a singer-songwriter. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. And let me ask you the question. Does a singer-songwriter mean that you just have to be a guy or a girl at a piano or a guitar by yourself singing? Or can you be in a band? Is it, you know, is it one genre or is it multi-genres? Because, I mean, I just showed you what I thought were multi-genres of singer-songwriter. But that's just me. That's the question. Is singer-songwriter its own genre, or is it multi-genre? So let me know what you guys think. Maybe I was off base. But if you haven't already, go check out Chris Propfe and his video and all the other videos that have been going on in this thread. Leave me some likes, some comments, and I hope to see you guys down the road. We'll talk to you later. Peace and love. Bye.